join back with xCet for this cycle and for the future. I mean, they're a good team. They're coming off a victory over State Green last weekend, of course. There's a lot of hype around them. Can they live up to it? Do you think they have a chance against Lions here?
Uh, I think they do. I think although they're a new team and although they haven't really played like as these five people together that much, I think
Yeah.
they have a chance. Uh, a little bit of maybe aggression about them.
They're kind of poking at one another right here. And in the end, though, it's just going to be a little friendly of a love tap right there. Where the site goes down, and that's that. So, but yeah, I think that's definitely the biggest thing. I mean, as far as playing together, that's right now. It's definitely they're still obviously new. Lion Sports Club, they've been together for a very long time and very good at that. So it's a tough challenge. What about these lineups though? What about the players? What about the lineups we got going on here? We got Parasite, Torturer, Gemini, Pharaoh, and Pestilence. What's the deal with Pharaoh? First off, apparently he's kind of coming back this weekend, but. What do you think of the Legion's team lineup? Team xCet over here.
I've seen Nox on Gemini a bunch of times. He plays it pretty well, and he does well for being behind. Like a lot of people, when you see Gemini, you think of that stats farming like crazy with both wolves, and just really utilizing that hero. But if you don't get that farm, some people often struggle. But he plays it really well. He does aggressive builds with maxing your skills rather than your stats.
Yeah.
So interesting, and yeah, Pharaoh's taking a liking again against the Tempests, because Tempest is still, although he got nerfs, it's still pretty popular. So a lot of people like Pharaoh against that.
Yeah. They're gonna be, yeah, again, so like I said, the earlier series saw Pharaoh at least a couple of the games, and here we are on the game number 1 of this series, and sure enough, we see Pharaoh coming back. Keizu gonna get his hands on Pharaoh in that suicide role, of course. Again, him and Sender, the two new players on the team. It's kind of like, Nox kind of is too, again, coming back from Thailand. It is good to see now. I've always been a huge fan of Nox. I mean, just if anything, just because of just, like you were kind of, the carry player that he is, he gets those numbers, man. I mean, his GPM... I think when he was with HoN Tour before he eventually left for Thailand, I mean he was tops GPM out of any carry player on the scene for the Diamond Division. So kind of like yourself, season 1. It was fun to see up there on those leaderboards. So both you and Nox know how to get the farming job done. Hellbore lineup. Let's look at Lions team now, and obviously some fun things to talk about. You got that Tempest, as you mentioned, the Kraken, the Devourer. You got Engineer and then Wretched Hag. So Super KGE, classic Devourer pickup coming out here. This middle matchup is interesting because Nox is actually managing decent. I mean, he's 7-0. Devourer is winning it in the end, but Gemini's actually not doing too bad here in this middle.
He's being aggressive, like nuking a lot with his Twin Breath, and just like he got pooled regen, so that allowed him to like take rot a little bit and just tank some auto attacks, but he's just getting farm and just dealing with the dual lane. And again, that goes back to who he is. He's a great player in just dealing with stuff, and not just like sitting back and being passive. He's all about getting that farm.
Yep, any way he can, just get it any way he can, really. So that middle matchup there, again, keep an eye on that, see how that progresses on. You see Devourer actually getting his bottle delivered, so has that used now. The courier does get up. I was going to say it was still a ground courier, actually, but no, it does get upgraded right there. So, going to be flying back to base. Team xCet, of course, running that short lane Pestilence here. In the end, they have Zergo on him. Off to the side, Wretched Hag going to harass Torture just a little bit, trying to box him out, not to let him get free farm on those jungle camps, but... Pestilence, what do you think? Because he's got the red boots early on. You talk about swing amounts when Pestilence actually middle lane. Holy crap, Gemini, he's being completely blocked out. He cannot move. He's boxed in. Oh no, Nox is going to fall. And Super KGE will get credit for it. You talk about the perfect placement to put the opposition. That's got to be frustrating, man.
Yeah, that was really well done by Lions. Beautiful keg placement, and then just knowing that they can just block him. And that was just awkward creep placement.
Yeah.
But I still think they would have had him even if he wasn't completely blocked. So.
Yeah. Rod causes issues at that point. His Twin Fangs was down, so obviously not able to escape. Yeah, just good execution coming out between the NG Devourer combination. Not too surprising when it's in the hands of Seal Kid and Super KG, let's be honest. But going back to the point, though, of Pestilence at the bottom lane. Again, you mentioned Swinnamel's last series, how he's known for making that short lane Pestilence. Like school is Alchemist Bones. Do you think that's a possibility here on Zergo?
Yeah, he seems like more of a player that would do that as well. Although Jonas is doing a great job of contesting their farm. Like Sender
Yeah.
is sitting at the tower because he can't do anything, and even Pesty is getting harassed a lot. So he doesn't have complete free farm, although he has pretty decent farm. So I wouldn't be surprised seeing the Alkbones, but it depends how aggressive Lions wants to be.
Yeah.
If Lions is super aggressive, then he may just go for the portal key and play it safe.
We'll see what he ends up going for. Again, I'm going to get an answer in the near future, probably, for the upgrades, those boots or whatnot. But, yeah, you mentioned Jonas, a fan, talk about a great player himself. Deservedly so, taking home the suicide player of the year for 2013. Gemini, in the meantime, going for a turn kill. Look at the turn kill. He falls right after, but hey, he got the turn kill. He hit level 6 in the process, actually. So I think that's a case of Nox. At least he made the best of a bad situation right there in the middle lane. Now, when it's all said and done, though, Super KG, he does get another kill. And he is really taking off. 460 gold per minute already for good old Devourer here. So Gemini being in the middle, so you still think this has proven to be the better decision here for Team Excellence, sending this Gemini solo mid and the Torture Pestilence bottom?
Yeah, because against Devo, if you get hooked, you're screwed. And
Yeah.
really well done by Nox there. I think that was really greedy of Super KG as well, though. But regardless, that's a nice kill. But yeah, if they send the Pesty Torture in the dual lane mid, then if he gets hooked, like there's nothing that you can do. So it's better to just send Gemini, who can actually escape with his Twin Fangs, if he does get hooked. So it's a safer play. And Nox is doing really well. He shouldn't have 2 kills, but he does. In a 1v2 situation, he has 2 kills, which is really crazy.
Well, yeah, no, actually, I do. I hate myself for it, and I apologize. It's actually Gemini, speaking of him. Caster's Curse coming into play right here. Even Farrell, well, that's his actually teammate. I was going to say Farrell comes over the nuke, but that's his teammate coming through. And actually, Gemini will be able to escape with the Twin Fangs. But I was going to say, I actually missed the kill that Nox got as he came back to the lane. I didn't think that was going to be happening. So, as you mentioned, it sounded like he did a pretty good job of taking advantage of the greedy play from Super KG right there. But yeah, going to the point though, he's 2-2-0 here. Hell, he's over 300 gold per minute for a 1v2 against a Devo engineer. Not too shabby at all for Nox coming out. How about the rotation from Farrell, by the way? He's going to come all the way to the bottom. He is level 6, so let's see if Keizu can maybe look to set something up. But this does mean top is completely left open. And you see what's happening up here. Kraken and Tempest are pushing it in. This is going to be an easy tower kill for them. So, good push going to be coming out for Lion Esports Club. By the way, Pestilence, he does go Steam Boots. He has a mana battery now. So, not going to be going the Alchemist Bones route. Going to be going more the traditional route here in the end. So, a little more safe with that said. And perhaps Wretched Hag blinking away before she gets caught. Devour, you got the Super KG. Devour is actually, top lane. Farrell, oh my god, he's going to live. Release the Kraken coming out, but they cannot do enough to combo him down. Tempest, actually. I wonder if there was miscommunication there, because Tempest, actually, I believe, started falling back as Kraken was going in. Maybe he was expecting a Tempest ultimate, even, but...
Yeah, he was a few mana short from charge. I think if he charged him back, he probably could have got Tempest ultimate and maybe killed, but they just didn't have it.
So, not going to be happening. And Keizu will gladly pick up some free farm. In the meantime, back to the middle lane. Gemini again. This time it's going to be too much. This time Nox does get locked down, and he eventually falls right there. So, he's done great at escaping a couple of other times, but this time again, too much. That's his 3rd death now. So it's funny seeing the hero kill stats, especially on the Legion side. It's like 0-0-0 for everyone. Then Nox is 2 and 3 thrown in there. So. But another good pick right there. Devour, Super KG does this from time to time. He'll get the snowball going, and it could prove to be pretty dangerous. We'll see if he maybe gets something like an early portal key or perhaps an early tablet of command. I think that tablet against heroes like Pharaoh might make a lot of sense here. Shaman's Headdress, I know he likes to do, so we'll see.
Yeah, throwing Shamans into something like a barrier eventually, and just getting a tablet, giving him more mobility. And yeah, it counters Pharaoh really, really, really well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. And Lions just moving up to push.
9 minutes in, they're going to be pushing the top lane again. So, yeah, as you said, going for the secondary tower. I mean, Team Excellent, can they? I mean, do they have to stop this? They are pushing. They are kind of pushing bottom. Can they just let a free tower go here?
Yeah, they kind of just have to give it up and let Pharaoh just keep using Tormented Soul to slow it down as much as they can, and they're just going to trade, which is the right call. There's nothing that they can really do about top. I mean, they could try to team fight it, but it's risky against the Tempest Ultimate, and with Super KG being fat already, like, he has 1300 life, so it's going to be hard for them to take him down, and Parasite has to go all the way over there. So yeah, it's better to just concede this. Try to get bot tower and whatever farm you can.
Yeah. And there you go. Speaking of Super KG, actually gets credit for the tower kill right there on top of it. So really putting that farm onto him. Bottom lane, though, they do counter push, as we're talking about. So Team Excellent, they do get a counter out of that push that happened. But now Kraken not going to be able to cut off Gemini, though. Nox a little bit too sneaky there, and he's able to cut out to the right. And actually, he's going to go bottle up a refreshment rune in the meantime. So Nox again, his farm, even with the 3 deaths, he's still managing about 310 gold per minute, 305 gold per minute or so. They definitely needed him to have a great start. Not putting any points in the element. How do you think he's leveling, by the way? I mean, so again, Nox is known for playing gem. I guess, is this the routine? Is this what he does? I don't know if you know, but stays away from the passive, just maxes out the Q and the W.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Gemini goes, there are so many different routes you can take. Some people don't even get Q and get stats. Some people get max the passive and a few points in stats. Like, there's so many options you can take, but I think he's calling it right here. Just getting as much damage so that he can potentially get those turn kills or apply any pressure in team fights. Because, like, he's not getting farm, so Elemental Force won't really do much for him, and getting his stats won't really do anything. So he has more damage getting his skills rather than his passives and just going aggressive with Energizer and stuff like that.
Yeah. And speaking of that, of course, the Double Pretender's Crown, so setting up for that, of course. And keep an eye on when he gets that Energizer eventually picked up. What did the Super KG just buy? Oh, he went for the hook, but sidestep from Nox just a little too quick right there. It's being delivered. It is going to be the Shaman's Headdress. So there you go. The Shaman's already finished on Devour. Really tanked up now at this point. He's got those 2 charges on the Cadaver Armor. As you're mentioning, he's sitting on just about 1,300 life already with minimal plus stat items. So always fun to keep an eye on and see how that progresses when those charges start to get added up. There's the portal key on Pestilence. So he gets it pretty early on here. About 11.5 minute, 11:45 portal key. Not too bad. So Zergo picking that up and not going to look to use it right off the bat. Just kind of farms a little bit more right there. But they want to try to get this hag, but I don't know if they're going to find the opportunity. Jonas, a fan, a smart player, of course. Not going to give them a free kill if he can help it. So Torture's like, hey, I'm farming by myself. Jump me. Not going to happen. Pestilence, though, is going to die if he is. The Impale hits. Chain reactions. It is going to hit. Will it be enough damage? No, it will not. Bat Blast turnaround. Here come the TPs. They're going for turn kills. Who do they want? The hook attempt. He is going to get... Oh, the nice sidestep from Saragal. So Torture will end up falling. But they wanted Pestilence. Could not get it. But beautiful play from Jonas, a fan. Like I was saying, it's tough to kill a player like that for that reason right there. Good teamwork as well.
Yeah, really well done. Nice response. And good call on Jonas to ulti first to get the extra slow on so that they can land some kills.
Parasite middle lane. Oh, he bit off a little bit more than he could chew. He's going to get counter killed. Yes, he is. Kraken holding his ground. They have some beefy targets here on the Hellborn side. They're showing off right here. Feral is going to get pulled back in. He will eventually fall. And Lions just turned on the throttle. They really turned it on. They're going to push this middle tower down. All of a sudden, a 6,700 gold lead and a 3,600 experience lead. So, yeah, if this engine wasn't being revved already, it is just growling right now. All 5 of them, they are still going to be pushing. As Kraken is, of course, in the front lines. I mean, we haven't really talked too much about Fuzi playing Kraken yet. But he's got the helm. He's got steam boots. He's farming 416 GPM. It's already looking kind of grim here for Excellent.
Yeah. Alright, although he's not going like super carry, like Kraken is such a strong hero.
Yeah. It's a jump. The hook actually missing off to the side, but oh, Torture drops right there. Yeah, not going the most carry damage route, but still, with that splash auto attack on top of the Torrent, you can do plenty of damage. So, Torture, and being the squishy that he is, he easily falls. Tower kill easily coming out, so again, Lions Wow. I mean, within a minute and a half, really, all of a sudden the lead again, 9,000 gold lead, 4,300 experience lead. So that just took off. So Team Excellent again, they're in a deficit here. What's the deal? What do they need to make happen? They have the point account pestilence. What do they got to make happen here?
They got to make some pickoffs. Keizu really hasn't found a spot to ulti and get pickoffs with Parasite, and Pew really hasn't, been roaming with Keizu to try to get those pickoffs. Just because Lions isn't really going to let it happen. Kind of know. Jonas is really the only one that's kind of alone in most scenarios, but he's bottom and he's pretty safe. It's really hard for them to pick off the Hag, although they're going to probably try to attempt to do it here shortly. But yeah, even with Pesty having that PK, like if they can't get pickoffs, then it's kind of a waste. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that. We all know what happened last time when they tried to pick off Wretched Hag, so this time they're going to go for it again. And here we go. Take two. Engineers nearby. Kick shot. Oh, the beautiful save from Seal Kid. Damn, talk about perfect timing. So this time there's no turn kill, but hey, they keep Wretched Hag alive. And if anything, kind of make the time invested a waste right there for the Legion team. So, wow. I mean, that timing was pretty much on the ball. And look what Lions is doing. They're all going to the bottom lane. They're saying top's clear, middle's clear. Let's work towards bottom. And, it makes sense. Lions is great at doing this. They just love to keep playing active. And they're exactly going to do just that. So they know they have a good lead here. Team Excellent, I mean, again, talk about moving around, beating some picks. It's a lot easier to do when they're spread out, which they're not really the most right now. As I say that, in the middle lane, Devour, he's going to hook in Pestilence. There's a locked in the energy field. Perfect placement right there, right on the edge. Pestilence does not stand a chance. He's going to fall. Keizu's also going to be picked up. Paplast actually whiffing. So Jonas a fan, so much praise given to him. Well, that was kind of a mishap. But anyways, it doesn't really matter. They get the easy kill and the response from Lions. So again, it's... Even with this being the winter bracket finals, I think it's a shout out to himself at failing, but it happens even in the best games, man, the best of matchups. I mean, this is definitely turning out to be a one-sided game for Lions here, Diglett.
Yeah, and Nox just getting taken down here.
Oops, didn't want to do that.
Yeah, Kraken's so beefy now. Like, he's, like, with his splash, it's dealing like half of the health of anyone on the Legion team. Like, they're just so squishy. And Lions playing it really well. They already have 2 tablets, so Pharaoh is pretty much a non-factor, besides for counter-pushing. Like, his wall is not going to do anything. And Lions just playing it really well, grouping up, perfect timing, and responding to the counter-push and pushing of Excellent.
Wretched Hag just going to jump in the front lines right there. And actually, there's the follow-up from Karak and the Soulspark again. This allows him to do so much damage. The Tempest ultimate against all 3, but Parasite was ready. So Pew does get the cancel, but again, is it enough? Probably not. Pestilence, so I thought he was going to get away. But never mind, it wasn't to be. Lion Esports Club, they get the tower kill. All 5 of them are still up. Team Excellent. I think that concede Buckton is looking pretty juicy right here for them, because 17,000 gold lead, 12,000 experience lead right now for Lion Esports Club. And again, it's just not stopping. Lions is just making it. We had the podcast yesterday, and some points were brought up. Even we had Svinomones on to, he won the most valuable player, and gave him some shout, let him get some thanks and everything. But we also started talking a little bit about Lions specifically, and he brought up the point. He's like, if Lions is actually... If they play their game, if they start practicing once again, because they have been a little bit unpracticed lately, a couple of the players have been said to be playing Strife lately, or doing other things. But if they are really just on the ball, they're going to be a very scary team, not only going into the playoffs, but especially into the Global Grand Finals. So there was kind of questions going into this weekend, what Lions team are we going to see? How practiced are they going to be after a little bit of a break here? I mean, they look just as good as ever, at least in my opinion right now.
Yeah, although people make a big deal about practicing and scrimming, and it is a big deal that you need to be practicing, Lions have been playing together for, almost a year now?
Yeah.
Like, they're just so in sync with each other. It goes back to Fnatic. Like, back when Fnatic was playing together, they probably didn't if they didn't scrim for, 2 months, it probably wouldn't be a big deal compared to, a new team. where Excellent would probably have to be scrimming like every day
Yeah.
as this new team to get accustomed to each other. So yeah, there was the holiday break and all that downtime where they probably didn't scrim as heavily as other teams, but they've been playing together. They know each other. Uh, some of them were even living together at one point
Yeah.
or something. So they're really in sync with each other in terms of playing. So I don't think it's a big deal. And as we can see, they're clearly on top of their game right now.
Yeah, and definitely making a statement here. Again, this is just game number 1 here, this best out of 3, and Team Exit, they actually haven't conceded just yet, but it's you just kind of feel it coming. There's another pick up there at the top lane. Sergo who's kind of farming it up. He had Pharaoh nearby, but Pharaoh's like, wait a second, that's too many people, and he TP's out of there, as he was not going to react to that. So right there, shout out to Ace Jr. right there, giving the note. Come to Honcast and watch some great Heroes and Heroes, definitely. But Lion Esports Club, again, taking care of business here in game number 1. That is for sure. 3,000 gold saved up on Devour. 1,700 on Tempest. You have Kraken. He's got the Souls Board working another 1,200 gold saved up even. So, again, Team Excellent, they're really just kind of hoping for the best right here. Nox does push in the bottom tower with Parasite, and they're going to TP back because obviously they got to defend. So he picks up a Firebrand right there. So, they can't just let this go, so they're going to try to make a hold right here. The hook missing. Super KG just trying to go for a little bit of a blind hook right there, but in the end, not going to connect. So, has another hook up in 3 seconds. I'm sure we'll see him use it once again. So, you miss 100% of the hooks, you don't try, said Wayne Gretzky.
Yep.
Gemini going to kind of poke there, but yeah. So, I mean, they're not going to break through just yet. May still be a little too early even, but yeah, they'll keep it here at the same time. I mean,
yeah, even if they're not taking the tower, they're having the entire Legion team sit here.
Yeah.
On they're so far behind. Like they would need to split up entirely and have every person free farm to get back in this game. So just them keeping them here is enough.
The hook, Super KG. He wants to line that up, but you can tell Team Excellent. Team Excellent is ready to react to it, so he can't really find the best angle right here. There's the jump, the charge onto Gemini. Where's the follow-up, the release, the Kraken? Gemini's falling quickly. The Pharaoh comes in with the Wrath of the Pharaoh. Kraken's actually dropping. If he falls, though, he has a token of life. The Tempest ultimate, by the way, doing a lot of work right there. Pestilence does survive somehow. He's trying to juke a jive. Not going to happen. He'll eventually fall. And, they pick off Kraken, but if anything, they just give him full life and full mana right there. So Gemini does not buy back. He never died, actually. He goes back in right here. The tower does fall. Now Devour's actually a little bit low. They are going to pick off Devour. Kraken, though, trying to hold his ground. He charges away. Kraken, though, he needs to get the hell on out of there. This could end up being a genocide, actually, for Team Excellent. And it is. I mean, okay. So Team Excellent, genocide. And they only had to use a couple buybacks. And they still have the racks. So we still got a game, apparently.
Yeah, pretty good. For what they had, it was pretty great. They didn't lose racks, and that push was with token. Granted, they did have to use some buybacks, but in the end, it's okay. Nox stayed alive, so that he's the important person on this team right now. And he was able to get a light brand from that, which I don't necessarily agree with, but it'll allow him to farm a lot more. And he's not really staying in split form, so I think it's an okay call right now.
Yeah, going the Searing Light here, so the eventual Dawnbreaker, I'm sure, but yeah, I wanted to go a little bit more the greedy and get a little bit more farm. Top lane, there's a poor coming in. Engineer hit land of the keg stun, but Devourer can't get there in time, and I think Nox is very aware that something is up, so he's going to TP out of there before he eventually gets caught, so good for him. And as you mentioned, he did stay alive throughout all that, so I didn't have to use buyback. Now 420 gold per minute being farmed on him. By the way, to clarify, guys, this is the winner bracket finals, guys. I know I actually forgot to update that part on the interface. It still says losers bracket from the previous match. Obviously, we went into this one pretty quickly, so. But this is the winner bracket final. So, in fact, I'll just quickly edit it on the fly right here to make sure that that is clearly pointed out. But right now, game number 1, obviously, Lion Esports Club. They're in a very comfortable spot. They have been so for pretty much this whole game. But Team Excellent, they're holding, and they did get a good hold there at their base. So, how about Wretched Hag, by the way? Not only does he go the Sacrificial Stone, which is not too odd, but he actually goes a Gnome's Wisdom on top of that. So, Making a point about armor. As I say that, I'm sorry, Jonas a fan. The caster's curse, and he's dead.
Yeah. I think it's, you don't see it that often, but I think it's an undervalued item. Gnomes is really strong, especially on Hag. I hear that casts a lot of spells. You heal a lot, and in these team fights, they're kind of back and forth. Although, unless they get a pick off, Team Excellent, the fights are going to be, rather long.
Yeah.
Because Gemini is going to be splitting and recombining and splitting, and so allowing just getting that gnomes allows you to heal a little bit more, and it gives you even more team fight than they already have. Lions likes to get those early game items. They already have 2 tablets, and Devo just bought a Frostfield plate.
Wow. Wow. What is he? 485 GPM. Jeez.
Yeah, he had a lot of money pulled up. So it's good because it slows down Gemini's attack, and it just gives him more armor. Like, Devo has 21 physical armor and 19 magic armor, so he's just a tank right now.
Yeah, especially with the Cadaver armor, yeah. The 12 charges, nearly 2,000 life on top of all that. So he truly is a tank. And you know, what better way to have a Devourer than just be a massive tank and can sit there with that rot activated. They are going to scout them out. Good, beautiful, actually. Tormented Soul right there actually hits both of them as they were kind of running on through. So their plans are foiled, whatever plans they may have had for setting up a gank. But again, not the biggest deal in the world. Go back and do more farming. If anything, Team Excellent, they're constantly being the ones having to play very, very cautious here and very safe. So Lion Esports Club, they can feel a little more comfortable about controlling the map and getting farm where they please. And we kind of see that as you look at the mini-map. Now, Kraken, he might need to be a little careful here. He does have some enemies heading his way. 3,500 gold saved up on a Kraken. You do see there's a jump. Here's the follow-up. He is tanky. Is he tanky enough? He does have. He's able to tsunami charge out of the mummy wall if need be, but no, he could not do so. And he falls. So beautiful pick-off from Team Excellent. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Jonas a fan actually falls to Nox. So, I mean, Team Excellent, they were right to not concede because they are actually clawing their way back in this game, honestly. And I think after that sequence right there, I actually feel like Team Excellent has a legitimate chance to maybe climb back in this somehow.
Yeah, Gemini is a massive hero. Nice initiation here from Seal Kid.
Yeah, can he actually get away from this one? Devour, he has the hook. Oh, he hooked his teammate, though! He hooked his teammate, he got in the way. Frostfield play comes out, so it's not going to matter in the end. And a little bit of a misplay there, but hey, they get the kill. So, right as we're talking about Nox and how he is the big guy. Yeah, I mean, even with that death, he's talking about scaling late game. He's one of the better ones out there in the whole game. So, but at least they do pick him off right there. So, but yeah, I mean, Team Excellent again. They are showing at least signs of hope, and that is good to see because the last thing we want is a complete stomp in a game 1 especially. So.
Yep, definitely. And I think that was just a little bit of greed on Lion's part for both Jonas and Fuzi. They were just kind of really far out of position where they didn't really have vision. So I think they got a little bit greedy there, but I think they'll play it safe and they'll eventually get back to the crushing lead that they had earlier.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt it's definitely... I mean, when you have a lead like they've had, they got to make mistakes for the other team to eventually come back. And, there have been a couple, but they need more mistakes to happen before they really need to start worrying themselves about throwing this game, you could say. So definitely not at that point, though, by any means. We are coming up to 28 minutes. Kraken, that demonic breastplate again, is just around the corner. And you can tell they are very interested in Conqueror level 2, or the second Conqueror even. So once he resurrects, I'm sure we'll see Lion Esports Club make their way over there and look to finish him off. Gemini, he doesn't have any gold in him currently. He must have bought, I'm guessing, the Dawnbringer? Or nothing's being delivered,
what I would
though.
assume.
So, yeah, nothing's being delivered to him, though, so maybe it was something else. Huh. Well, we'll see what that eventually is, but yeah, I find it hard to believe that. I guess not hard to believe, but I mean, could he not go the Dawnbringer here? Would that be possible?
He could go for something like a heart, but it's just safer to pick up the Ice Brand here. Just finish the Dawnbringer, you get better bonus stats from it. But, you see a lot of Geminis going just straight for the Axe of the Malphite, and eventually the heart.
Yeah.
So
All right, so Nox, again, still managing to do pretty damn good GPM, even with his team struggling so much from the very beginning of this game. They push in the top tower. They only that's only their second, no, actually the third tower kill of the game. But there's Kongor, resurrects, and immediately Lion Esports Club is in the Kongor pit. So that's going to be an easy Kongor kill. 12 minutes Soul comes out, but obviously it's just way too late at this point. Shrunken Head is finished on Pestilence. Of course, a very good item pickup for him. Barbed Armor is picked up on Ksu playing that Pharaoh. So there are some noticeable items definitely coming out here on the Legion side. With all this said, in fact, Codex on Parasite, I believe that's, I want to say maybe even a level, no, it has probably a level 1 Codex, as he's saving up gold now for maybe even like a Portal Key or something like that. But Conger goes down, Token of Life on Wretched Hag, actually. You see Wretched Hag, so, we were talking about that Gnome's Wisdom, but, maybe part of that, too, had to do with how they were in such a lead. They were kind of snowballing, just pushing as a team. Do you think he's almost regretting getting it now, knowing that this game is actually moving on and, would have rather gone for the light brand or whatever?
yeah, now that it's slowing down, I mean, it definitely helps. All of the armor that they have, they don't have a Ring of the Teacher, so that provides that buff. And against this team where Gemini has physical armor penetration with his strength, and against the Pestilence, more armor doesn't hurt. That's why he got the Sackstone as well. And I think that's why Super KG got the Frostfield plate. Just getting all of that armor along with the Demonic, just like it just stops most of the damage coming in from the Legion team.
Yeah.
So yeah, going for the light brand is okay, but I think light brand was a little bit greedy. So I'm glad he got the Blessed Orb because he can turn that into a sheep stick or whatever he wants.
Yep. Here we go. Pushing the base, take 2 for them. Token of Life again on Wretched Hag this time. There's the hook, it lands on a Gemini, and that's the start they were looking for. Good reaction coming up for Fair though. Gemini, he ports away with his wind face, he's on the run. Wretched Hag chasing, nice split up at the last second. Beautiful turnaround from Nox, but that Tempest ultimate to lock him down, and that will be enough. Now Nox does buy back. Pestilence is going to fall right there. Gemini is up, it's just him and Parasite though. Pharaoh does come back as well. But it's only them 3 right now. No more buybacks to be had. So Super KG in the background, he's fairly low. But everyone else is good off. They're well alive. And this should be a melee Rax kill right here. So, man, I thought for a second Gemini was going to get a turn kill and somehow live right there. But he just barely died at the last second. And they do clean up the Rax when it's all said and done. So after that buyback, he also buys the full Dawnbringer. So that's kind of another thing where it's like, well, why didn't you just have that going into the fight? But maybe he was trying to save it for something like a full Shrunken Head. But because of how that played out, he decides to just go for that instead after the buyback. But anyways, good attempt. Not enough, though. Lions does break through.
Yeah, really well done from them. Just making sure that Hag was in the front so that the Legion kind of focused the Hag and burned the token. And he's able to just do most of the damage. Beautiful Tempest Ultimate and NG Ultimate. Kraken missed a little bit. I think he tried getting Gemini, and then Gemini used W at like perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunate there, but overall they're playing really well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a case with the hook from Super KGE from Devour, so it's like, sure they didn't kill that target initially, but it's just how it forced the Legion team to completely react to it, and it forced them to start the fight where maybe they weren't ready for it. So even though they didn't get the kill at the bat, there's definitely a big hook right there coming out. And obviously helped lead the way, pave the way even for Lions to come through with the win, one fight right there. So again, the racks are destroyed, and an already difficult game just got even a lot more difficult now for Team Excellence. So what about the Dawnbringer decision finally on Gemini? Like I said, he had enough to buy it even with the buyback beforehand, but he bought it after.
I think it's okay. I think he should have bought it beforehand if he had the intention of going it. I think the buyback was not really needed. The racks are pretty much dead anyways, which they were, whether he bought back or not. So it's kind of hard to tell at the beginning of the fight. They killed a couple people from Lions, and yeah, he can buy back and defend the racks, but I don't think he should have bought back, seeing as how his entire team was dead and only one person from Lions died.
Yeah. Well, there's another kill. Jonah's a fan. Actually gets picked off. I mean, it took 4 heroes from Team Excellent, but hey, they get the kill, so very good pick off on their part. And Jonas Fan again, he falls, so he's going to have to wait another 35 seconds to resurrect right here. So, talking about the Roman and setting up ganks from Team Excellent, what they need to do, and accomplishing that right there, of course. You see Alliance pushing out the other lanes in the meantime. Devour at the top. Devour now with the portal key. Again, his farm has just really led him towards a lot of items in the inventory. Him, Kraken, and Tempest. Oh, look at the gold being saved up. Tempest, 4,000 gold. 3,300 gold on Kraken currently. So they're going to have their next tier of items here in the near future. And that'll, of course, be a sign to make things happen. Coming out from Lions. Wouldn't be surprised to see waiting for that third Kongor to really secure the job here for Lion Esports Club. But
I think the next round of items, I'm not sure what Kraken will get, but once Super KG finishes, he should probably head towards the barrier idol here. And then once Tempest gets a Resto Stone, Hag gets a Sheep Stick, and they have Kong and Bananas, I think it's going to be a pretty convincing fight.
Pestilence going to farm out the bottom lane. They were maybe trying to set up a gank. He had the flight active, but Jonas Fan on a Wretched Hag a little bit too quick and falls back before any attempt comes out right there. Both sides may be interested in something now. You see Devour even in the vicinity, kind of playing off one another, but Pestilence portal keys away, and again, that'll be the end of that. So, yeah, like I was saying, the Kongor, very likely for Lions. Again, knowing that they have a very huge lead here, Team Excellent is constantly having to go back to this top lane, not only get less farm as a result of the mega creeps, but or not the mega creeps, but the bigger creeps, but having to constantly address those. So Gemini middle lane, the Tempest told him he's going to lock him down by himself. Wrath of the Pharaoh was already used. They knew that. They're going to lock him down completely, and that will be a kill on a Gemini. Great presence of mind right there. I kind of caught that halfway through. I assume, so were they jumping Tempest? I don't know if you caught it, but...
Yeah.
Okay.
Nox went on Tempest and almost got him down, and then Keizu creeps walked in front of him, so he missed the ulti. If he hit the Wrath of the Pharaoh, Tempest was dead, but instead he whiffed, and then Tempest just manned up and turned it around.
Yeah, the second he realized that ultimate was down, he's like, yeah, free Tempest ultimate coming at you. And... that got the easy kill on a Gemini. I say easy kill, but definitely took a lot of work, so well played again by Lions. That's, of course, a very, very big pickoff. He does have buyback, but probably not going to end up using it. 40 seconds remaining, just under now, before that's necessary. So, again, I'm sure Lions going to just clear more out here, and then officially fall back to the Kongor pit once that is up. Sheepstick just finished on Jonas Fan, so he does eventually turn that Blessed Orb into one. Bottom lane, Pew on Parasite. He is in trouble. The Hell Cannon saving the day, and he portal keys away. So, darn Hell Cannons, man. Those things are Parasite's best friend. So, he escapes right there with his life. Obviously, again, got that portal key after the level 1 codex. Now he's a level 3 codex, actually. So, starting to level that up. Pharaoh out of buybacks, by the way. Gemini and Pestilence both down to 1 buyback here. Kraken, want to see what he eventually builds into.
Yeah, he just picked up the Shrunken, or not too long ago, and he had a ton of money pulled
That's
up.
Right, yeah.
And Tempest has 6,000 gold.
Yeah. What the hell?
I see him getting the rest of this done, but he's probably just saving right now for a buyback just in case some crazy pickoff happens. But once he heals, gets his resto, again, once they get Kong, it's going to be pretty convincing. Super KG has 2,600 gold. And Kraken still has 1,500 saved up, and Jonas picked up the Sheep Stick, so they're all like farmed. Like they have 4 heroes that are massively farmed compared to the 1.5 on the Legion side.
Yeah, I mean even Engineer. Oh, Pharaoh, Keizu getting a little too curious here, and he is eventually picked off. So he's going to be dead for 60 seconds. He does not have any kind of buyback. They probably know this, if anything. And Lion Esports Club, they're going to try to really make him pay. So, Tempest is not with them, though, just yet. He is making his way over there. There, he buys the Resto Stone, and he still has another 1,200 gold saved up. So, yeah. Somebody had a lot of gold. But Kongor's not up just yet, so again, they're going to kind of start to break into the pace now. We'll see what kind of reaction they get out of Excellent. Gemini still pushing top, though.
Yeah. I think that's kind of a smart call. He only needs one dog up there though, because he can just send the other one back and then just not have to waste his port. But he's trying to get his shrunken, which I don't think is going to help at all, really.
Yeah.
Especially against a Devo and a Tempest, and Tempest with Resto Stone at that. So
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. So what would you just say? Go more all in, like more just damage output, like a wingbow even or something like that?
yeah, I would say just go all out into the heart. I would have not finished the Dawnbringer. I would have went into a Frostburn and then broken it into a Geos Frostwolf. Frostwolf's really strong on Geo or on Gemini, and then the Geos is a nice escape when you recombine, like splitting a lot and just not allowing them to really control you.
Yeah.
But I see him just getting solo templed
Yep.
once, if not twice, just because if they take out Gemini, the team fight, the rest of the fight will be pretty convincing. And Kong just spawned, so that's
Yep.
probably going to be where the next fight's bound to happen. If
I
not
will
bottom.
say, Pharaoh actually going to be catching Devour down here. He's pretty tanky, but pretty much everyone's going to end up down here. And it will be enough for a kill. So his legendary streak is actually stopped. 503 bonus goal for Pharaoh. So with that pick, he does definitely have a buyback. He has 3,200 gold that he's sitting on. And this could be a trap actually for Excellent. Oh, they need to be careful not to overextend here. He does buy back. Here we go. The jump from Engineer. Kraken with the push. The Tempest ultimate going to be coming out right there. No stop on it. Pharaoh actually walks right into it. The second Tempest ultimate. No Pharaoh ultimate to be had. He's on cooldown. And that should do it if anything. Bat Blast does connect. And a genocide for Lion Esports Club. Like I said, I mean, you just knew it. They got the pick on Navarro. It's like, oh, you think that they're feeling good. They were walking right into a trap. Lions knew exactly.